They don't have any room to expand on that footprint because they've got the metropolitan area all around them. And so you saw the Georgia Ports Authority kind of freak out and say, well, wait a minute, our joint venture partner is saying they're not going to need this capacity until at least 7 years after we need it. And so they responded in kind by saying, well, what we'll do is we'll buy the northwestern half of Hutchinson Island, the part that isn't developed in the convention center, and we'll develop that to handle our excess capacity needs. Well, I know that's not feasible because it would require raising the Talmadge Bridge up, okay, get the new generation of ships under there. Wow. It'd be very expensive. The developer and owner, Palmer and Kay, of the convention center side of Hutchinson Island does not want them there. And so I immediately then started back channeling with the governor's office in Georgia and with the Ports Authority. And what they say is, look, we want to go to Jasper. I mean, when we need new capacity beginning in 2028, that's where we want to go. But understand why we freaked out. Our joint venture partner is saying they don't need capacity until 7 years later, and we had to do something. And so what I then did is explain what I've just said to you the last 5 minutes to Governor McMaster's office, Governor South Carolina. He flew to meet with Governor Kemp in Atlanta, and we're getting a series of things written down and put into place that we can then do to demonstrate to Georgia our commitment to the project in Jasper, and that it has every reason to believe that when it needs capacity in 2028, it can look to Jasper. Okay, so that's what we've been doing. And what does that mean? Well, it means extending the railway corridors from CSX and Norfolk Southern on down to the port site. It involves releasing that easement from the Corps of Engineers land and finding them a mitigation site. It involves putting other infrastructure in place in order to make that a viable place for RFPs to be issued. So I am very optimistic that 2028, Georgia is ultimately going to go to Jasper. It's where it needs to go anyway. And let's be honest, it couldn't go to Hutchinson Island if it wanted to, because it would have to deepen that channel even further and endanger the Florida aquifer. It's already constrained in that the width will only allow a ship to go one way. They can't pass each other. I mean, it's so narrow that I really feel confident in saying to you and representing to you that in 2028, when Georgia needs new capacity, that's where it's going to happen in Jasper County. To the point of me making that case to the Senate Finance Chairman and the House Ways and Means Chairman, and them appropriating the monies commensurate with that. They recognize that Jasper, Colleton, Hampton, Allendale, places like that have really not benefited to the same degree that other areas of the state have. And there's a reason for that too, and I'm just going to share this with you guys as well. The Commerce Department gets leads from companies who want to come into this area, okay? And they've gotten a lot of leads in Jasper, Colleton, Hampton, Allendale over the years that mysteriously get shifted up to this imaginary fall line in Dorchester, Berkeley, and Charleston counties, to where if somebody developed on that site, they'd use the port in Charleston instead of the port in Savannah. So people who want to come to our region have systemically been redirected up into an area of the state that's already got more than they can handle. If you've been to Charleston now, they've already shoehorned as much capacity as they can into that city. It's already a failing area in terms of traffic. So to the point now where our Commerce Department gets it, we call them out on that, and the evidence of that is the Sherwood Tract. You all know what the Sherwood Tract is, which is adjacent to I-95, and it's adjacent to an existing railway right-of-way. That has now been, there's been a $5 million appropriation I got put in the budget to take that land down, and there is an OEM facility. I don't know if it's a Volvo or a BMW or whatever it might be, but it's a large European automobile manufacturer who wants that site, and they want to build a manufacturing plant on that site, which would create 2,000 to 3,000 jobs in Jasper County, great paying jobs. And this is now the final list. They tried to redirect it up to Kershaw County, up north of Columbia, because that would then logically fall down into Charleston, right? But we called them out on that, and we got that nailed down. So I am very optimistic about that site being selected in the next, I think the decision making is by the end of this calendar year. But if we can get an OEM facility in Jasper County, the momentum starts to create itself. You get a manufacturing facility there, it further demonstrates the need for the Jasper Port, because the Jasper Port is literally a stone's throw away from that. So I'm really excited about that. Exit 3 is something else that I'm focusing on. Riverport and they've been stymied in terms of access issues and things of that nature. I've been working with Jasper County, Andy Foljam, David Tedder, those guys over there. They put forward a very strong SIB application. And SIB is the State Infrastructure Bank. I mean, the way money works for highways in South Carolina is maintenance and things of that nature goes to the DOT. New construction, new projects goes to the State Infrastructure Bank. And I think we have a very strong application in place for Exit 3. So long story short, I think between that OEM site in Sherwood, at the Sherwood track, the Jasper Port really sort of making some headway with the two executives of the two states prioritizing it, and with Exit 3, this place is poised for tremendous growth. And I don't say that lightly. And it's one of the reasons why I've kind of made up my mind in the last year that this is my 11th year in the Senate. And usually in politics, it's up or out. You serve for a while, then you move on to the next office, whether it be Congress or something else. I want to stay right here as state senator for the next 2 terms to see this area become exactly what it can become. Because what happened in Dorchester and Berkeley and Charleston is going to happen in Jasper, Colleton, and Hampton. It's not a question of if, it's when, and it's going to happen. And we're putting the pieces in place right now to make it happen. And so those of you, I was talking to somebody about, they decided a few years ago to strike out from Bluffton and head into Hardyville because they saw that as being the coming growth area. That's absolutely right. I mean, if I were going to pick a growth stock, it'd be Jasper County right now. Establishing a presence here right now, being on the ground here, being familiar with the area, that's going to pay huge dividends in the years to come. Let me also